So we got the movie Deewane Seher Mein. I apologize, I'm probably not pronouncing it right, so I do apologize. Is an adult romance comedy movie releasing in the middle of February, just in time for the Valentine's Day holiday season. It's Hindi spoken with English subtitles, although they probably talk about like 5 to 10% English with words and sentences, so that was pretty cool. If you use Google Translate, it translates to two crazy people in the city, which I don't know if that's factually accurate. I mean, it is two people in the city, but I don't know if they're crazy, right? But it's probably not as punchy as the regular title. What happens when a guy, Shashank, which I apologize if I'm not saying his name right again, a guy in marketing technology firm has to his parents are like, hey, go meet this beautiful, perfect girl in arranged marriage, right? And the perfect, beautiful girl is Roshni with the glasses, right? However, she quickly denies wanting to get married because to me, it feels like she wants to make her life better, level up her life, focus on career and goals, which is a noble decision to do, right? So begs the question, are they even gonna get married? Is this the movie targeted towards millennials like it says in Google, by the way? Find out as we talk about it. Disclaimer, I am an outside looking into this film and reviewing this because romance knows no bounds, and to be honest with you, I personally love all women from all aspects of life, and the main girl, I would absolutely consider girlfriend material and marrying her and pleasing her in all the 50 shades available to me. I would definitely do that. I love girls from India, from Mumbai, Chinese, Japanese, Australian, Italy, Russian. It doesn't matter where you're from. I like women from all parts of life, so that's why I'm reviewing this movie. I am a psychology dropout. I was going to school to get my marriage counselor license here in Chicago, but I left because YouTube is my passion, but I want romance to succeed. Because if I see a girl and she's looking at me, I will go say hi and talk to her, but I'm on your side about wanting romance to succeed. I did understand the movie kind of because I was watching subtitles and looking at the screen at the same time, so it was still an enjoyable experience, although not trying to be disrespectful and I'm not trying to be weird. I felt like there was several problems for this movie. For this particular story, I've done 3 Bollywood movies in my life. The first 2 was last year. My favorite is Love Yapa, which still is my favorite, and second one is Dragon, the Tamil film. So please let me know if I don't understand the cultures or like the language barriers or the customs in the comments below. Like I told you, I enjoyed my time, although it is not my favorite of the Bollywood movies that I've seen in theaters. I've only seen 3 times. 3 movies, so forgive me if I don't say names right or clarify customs or just cultural differences, but I wanted to experience romance movies, especially like across the globe, so that's why I checked this out. The atmosphere and culture. Let's start with one of the best aspects of the film. I've never been to Mumbai, where the film is located and it's actually shot in film. It felt like I was really there or transported there, right? I love to see different aspects of life, how they live, their fashion sense, the way they commute, the way they talk to each other, the city, the vibe, especially otherworldly stuff, right? Sorry, the sun is just like beaming on me. It's crazy, you know? I love learning about marriage and cultures and ethnicities from other part of the world because I can't believe even in 2026 that they still have arranged marriages. Yes, I first found this out when I saw last year's other Bollywood movies, although they're not as committed as I would have thought from the previous film. So basically, the parents are like, hey, here are prospects for you to get like married. Like, go meet this person, do it for me or whatever. We think this person is right for you, right? And basically, it feels like to me, the guy or girl has the ultimate say. They're like, do you like this person? And they will say yes or no. And she says no in the beginning, right? So it doesn't feel like pushy. If anything, they're just like, okay, we'll help you meet somebody else, right? Which I understand. I guess that's just like the modern age of like arranged marriages. Please let me know in the comments below if I did get that right, because the parents just felt like, hey, go meet this person because we think they're great for you, right? They're good looking, they have a good job, stability, income, whatever. All the boxes, as you would say, right? The city looks beautiful. However, the thing that got to me the most was the sky and the nature. I live in Chicago, so I see a lot of buildings, I see a lot of cars, a lot of industry stuff. If I have to go to nature, I have to go to a park or Lakeshore Drive. You know, the famous highway in Chicago, right? By Navy Pier. So everything is like less nature over here. But it really puts into perspective how much there is life outside Chicago, which is awesome because I love to broaden my horizons and see what's in the other parts of the world in terms of romance and cities. And the camera's even sharp, so the film looks and feels good, right? I love the fashion sense. That is like one thing that I saw the movie, and even once I went to this Cine Niles, Bollywood people, I don't know what kind of fragrance they have, but it smells good. It smells expensive. I mean, they had next to a nice bar, like where you can get drinks and stuff. I didn't. I just got Diet Coke. But I was like, wow, dude, this smell, like, you guys smell great. Like, I don't know what kind of fragrance you have. You guys probably have like expensive stuff. I'm like, dude, that's actually pretty cool. But the thing that is cool is just the guy's attire and the girl's wardrobe. The guy has these nice tuxedos that I see myself wearing. You know, like the way they fit or the colors that they choose, or the patterns. I'm like, dude, this is beautiful, right? Even some of the girls' attire. Like, I would gladly accept dating a girl from India or from Mumbai that has this attire and everything. They just look so well put together. The colors, it just represents their culture, ethnicity so perfectly on screen. On screen, right? And one thing that's pretty cool is that in Bollywood movies, they like singing and dancing multiple times. So it breaks up the monotony of the pacing because, dude, they're singing and dancing, but they also have the comedic stuff because my theater was like, oh, they were laughing. Me too. I was laughing as well. Even when I was reading subtitles, right? I was reading the subtitles. But the singing and dancing is cool. They have the drama, right? And then the singing and dancing. So I'm like, dude, that's amazing. Girlfriend material. I would definitely wife somebody. My personal struggle is just trying to find a girlfriend right now in 2026. A little bit difficult. So maybe if I go to a different country or continent, I would try to find her, you know? The characters, we got Shashank and Rosny. I'm probably not saying those names right, so I do apologize. So we get introduced to both of them in the beginning of the film, right? The parents are like, hey, let's go meet the family of Rosny's character, right? Rosny, don't get me wrong, she's perfect, beautiful, and gorgeous. She's the one with the glasses, right? So they're talking on the rooftop in the beginning, and I can already tell the dynamic feels weird. It feels a little bit off because I actually connected with the woman rather than the guy. I know, right? Shocker, right? Usually we connect with the guys because, you know, male figures, but still, Shashank, sorry, pronouncing it. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Shashank. He has a good job and he has good looks. No homo, by the way. His grooming is on point. He dresses well. He's well mannered. He's nice, right? Basically a good guy. But the thing that I got turned off was he doesn't have confidence. He's clumsy. He's whimsy. He has a hard time pronouncing some words like sh, like sh is what I read in the subtitles, right? Which throws him off because I guess when he was younger, we find out that he has insecurities or whatever. Anyway, so his confidence bellows into his adulthood, which is crazy. I can't even fathom that because when you're in the presence of a beautiful woman, like, I don't want to say like you have a little bit more confidence, but it's just not, I don't know, dude. I just can't have that. You know, I did not have confidence when I was younger. No, I didn't. It took a while. So, but I don't know. It's like, it doesn't even feel like he wants to try it. Throughout the film, yes, he does try. But I just feel like in the beginning, I'm like, I don't know if a woman will be attracted to that. And like I said, I'm not trying to be disrespectful or rude. But you got to understand too, like, even as a guy now, like a woman or a guy, you need to at least have some confidence. Even the girl too. If the girl's insecure, like really bad, and she's gorgeous, I would be like, what the hell? I'll just like, I'll try to make it work. But at the end of the day, I can't help someone that doesn't want to help themselves, you know? However, Roshni, the perfect, beautiful girl with the glasses, right? I felt like she turned down the marriage because she has ambition. She has goals, right? Later you find out, and I knew, I'm like, no, there's something hidden deeper. She probably has been scarred. And you find that later on, no spoilers yet, but still, she has a burnt past. It's crazy because even for me, let's say my parents would arrange marriage, right? Or they're like, hey, Jess, go meet this person, and we think she's great and perfect and beautiful for you. And let's say I talk to her exactly like them on the rooftop, right? I would be like, damn, she's gorgeous, she's perfect, she's amazing, she's a girl that I would want to be like intimate with or like be nasty, bad boy, you know, 50 Shades. But ultimately, I would connect with her because I want to succeed in life. I want to focus on my goals and careers. You know, it's just like, all right, like, I got to focus on my future first. And she's so much in the beginning about her career. I mean, you see that, you know, YouTube, working out, books and stuff, and like going to work. And it's like, it's a little difficult. Sometimes in the beginning, you got to say no, you know? So I appreciate her for doing that because usually in the past, girls would say yes, right? But this time she is the one, no, like I have careers and I have goals, which is great. The romance and polarity. Do they have chemistry to make the movie work? I do think they have enough chemistry to make the movie suffice, although I don't think it's the best chemistry. I mean, I've seen so many romance movies, not just Bollywood, but even from Philippines, even from Hollywood or Bollywood, and even others from across the world, although I didn't watch them in theaters. But still, I do think they have enough chemistry to make the movie work. But I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Again, it just feels like the romance that they have of the narrative feels forced because the plot needed them to, you know? Maybe because the parents were like, hey, this is our favorite for you to be in arranged marriage, or just like, we like this person, so hopefully you like this person too. But the first 30 minutes of the film is she turns him down, right? And he's trying to find out why she turned him down, right? But it's like, she still wants him to chase her because he's standing outside of her work, right? He's standing outside of work, calling her and texting her, hey, like, you know, can we talk? Can we see each other? And then the day where he doesn't show up against her work, she calls him and says, hey, why didn't you show up? And then he says, because didn't want me to. And then she's just like, well, I want you to. So I'm just like, I thought that was cool and bizarre. I mean, some people in the theater were laughing as well, but you gotta understand where I'm coming from. I'm not trying to be mean or disrespectful, but it's just like, I don't know. I mean, you can't be chasing someone all the time unless it's like that over there. But even for here, it's just like, no, dude. And then he stops chasing, and then she, has that spark. Oh wow, like has he found someone else? And then the moment you see that, like, oh, there's some curiosity, some jealousy. But I have to accept that's the movie, right? That's the movie. It's a romance movie, whatever, right? But I'm very sorry to say this, but even when I see the movie, it kind of feels like she's a mother figure to him, right? Like, don't get me wrong, it messes with the sexual polarity because it's a story about both characters having trauma and insecurities that help each other to get through it. So I thought that was pretty cool, but I just couldn't help to feel that she kind of nurtures him. Like she carries the film 70% of it, right? I can't be my girlfriend's father, so I shouldn't expect her to be a mom to him. But it feels like she's the one always helping him. Hey, call your boss back. Why can't you stand up for yourself? And then she literally tells him in the movie, I can't marry a guy who doesn't stand up for himself or doesn't have confidence or doesn't fight for what he wants, right? And I'm just like, yes, baby girl, you shouldn't, because it's like she is helping him way more than he's helping her. I mean, yeah, he does help her, but it's like, I don't know, it just doesn't feel right to me, And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be rude or disrespectful, but it really feels like she wears the pants in the relationship, right? It really feels that. There's a scene where Shashank is having coffee with another prospect of a girl, and Rosnin comes in the coffee, and that's when when she's like, oh, I'm kind of jealous, blah, blah, and they're talking in the rain, and they have like this moment where they're bickering back and forth in the rain, and then the intermission comes. I'm like, okay, that's cool. By the way, that intermission is beautiful. I like movies that have intermission because sometimes you gotta go to the bathroom or you gotta refill your water, right? Spoilers and verdict. I do have to talk about one scene that I didn't understand, right? Spoilers. There's one specific scene that happens right after the intermission, but not towards the end. So basically, they break up, right? And I guess she's trying to return to him his shirt, right? And it's kind of this weird like thing, and he's like thinking everything's fine, and she hugs him, and someone takes a photo of them, right? And then she goes back to her house, and her parents like, why didn't you tell us you kept seeing Shashank, right? And this is after the coffee incident, and then they're like, oh, like you should have told us you liked him and stuff, and you were seeing him behind our back. And guess what? They call their parents, hey, they should get married, blah blah blah. And then they start the romance. And guess what, dude? Her parents, she calls him Shashank. Rosnin calls Shashank and says, hey, our parents are gonna want us to get married. Should we do it? And then the guy says, yeah, we should. And then she's just like, okay, and then it's happy. I'm like, what? Like, wouldn't you want to be pushed back? Or is that just me being dumb and not understanding the cultures? But it's like, shouldn't you want to push back? Be like, hey, like, okay, but you can't be doing this, and that. Like, you shouldn't be talking to other girls. Because, I mean, he was talking, I mean, you did see it, that he was having, I get it was for a prospect and his father, but it's like, come on, dude, like, there's no pushback and stuff. And then this vacation that they go, he just doesn't stand up to his boss, and like, she's like, no, like, you're here with me, it's a beautiful woman. But he did have a good reason to come back, because the Southeast Asia is having their summit there. So that was a pretty good reason, but I just didn't understand it. I'm not trying to be disrespectful or mean, but it's just like, I don't know, I just thought that was weird, I just didn't understand it. Like, I don't know. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm just like, no, dude, there's like so many problems that I have with it, unless it's like the culture over there, but it doesn't seem like it. At the end of the day, I'm gonna give this a grade C-. Like I said, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm not trying to be weird. I've said this numerous times. I am open to watching movies all over the world that deals with romance. This is not my favorite movie from Bollywood that I've seen in my life. The first one that I really like is Love Yapa. I don't know why. I love that movie. In second place is Dragon. Still, even Hollywood movies, Chicago movies are not the best. They even suck more than this, And I'm not saying that this sucks, but I'm just saying that everyone makes bad movies. Everyone has good days and bad days, and this just could have been better, right? There was other movies that came out like Crime 101 or How to Make a Killing, but to me, if a romance movie comes out first in theaters, it doesn't matter where, I will watch it. But still, I am thankful and I enjoyed my time, and I'm still open and excited to see other movies from all over the world like Bollywood and stuff. So if you made it this far, I really appreciate so much. Maybe consider hitting that like button and turning on notifications so you never miss a video. And with that, take care. Bye.